Destination Banter with Tony Smith.
Riser, and welcome back to the studio. And we're joined in the studio today with two good old friends. It's warm in here today, isn't it?
It is warm, it's nice.
You know what the crack is? On that note, friends, there it goes, look at that there. Yoo-hoo! So, first of all, before I introduce today's guests, I'm going to do my shout-outs. Phil Howard and Anna H. They got engaged last weekend. Lovely couple. Yes, indeed, yes, indeed. Joseph V. Sultana, John Chalice, being Boise. Boise that was in Only Fools and Horses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to be working with Boise in London.
Nice.
I'm going to be working with Cheryl Ferguson in London. She was Heather in EastEnders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, okay.
they're all on board of these films. Matthew T. Metzler over in the good old US of A. Jeff Mueller in the US of A as well. Ollie Brecht in Germany. Peltzman in London. Andrew Bowens, the soul singer. Jordan Morris, London via LA. Michelle Martin, the actress. Oh, Elise Quevedo and Ciro Orsini and from Hollywood Casting in London. I'll be talking to you guys soon. Tom Begley, Gino Lynch and his gorgeous sisters. Iris Showreels, Kieran Davies. And the list goes on. You know who you are. Anyway.
Look at him name dropping.
Hello, Jessie.
How you doing, sweetheart?
Good to see you. Steve, thanks for coming back.
Here you go.
That's a first on the Banter show. You caught my lovely there. You caught my lovely. So we've got Steve Fearnley and Diane Jessie Miller. How the devil are you?
Good, yeah,
Excellent.
good. Yeah.
Good. I love that. That was unreal.
That's nice.
That's a first. Check that one, friends. Caught me off hand there. It was great. So what's the crack with you?
Well, we're just plugging away as always. But
And you're starting up a new music venue.
It's
Well,
not.
restarting
Yeah,
a music
it's not
venue.
a new. I'll let Steve talk about that bit first.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been doing gigs under the guise of the Melting Pot for quite a few years now, and we've kind of moved around to a few different venues and stuff. But as of late, I've had so much studio work that I've just not had time to carry on organising the gigs and stuff.
You had to put it in hold
I
then,
did,
the melting pot.
yeah. So
You had to turn the gas off in the melting pot.
I did, yeah, for a little while, and then Diane came along a couple of months ago and said, look, we really need to get these gigs back going again, because there really isn't many sort of venues that are promoting live original music. So it was like, I'm on board, definitely. I've always been on board, but the time aspect has been really difficult for me. So Diane said, look, I'll take care of all the kind of the booking and
The niggly bits.
the paperwork and the admin side of stuff.
Stuff that I really enjoy.
And
Yeah.
stuff that men don't really enjoy. Let's
Exactly.
face it. Men don't enjoy that stuff.
I don't like that stuff. I love
No.
the gigs.
And you love doing the sound.
I love doing the sound and stuff.
Yeah.
But
you
you know,
Yeah.
Diane came along and was like, let's do this. I was like, fantastic, because it's been a while since they were on. So we're now going to be relaunching in the Foresters in Warren Point. So the first Saturday of every month.
first
So you'll be
Saturday of every
seeing
month.
3 live bands, all original music as well. So if you want to keep abreast of what's going on in the local, well, I say local, the further afield, in the north and part of the south as well, come down. It's always going to be good music.
Come down to the
different,
ANF, the
Do it.
Foresters in Warren Point,
Do it.
the first Saturday of every month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's 3 gigs. That's good value for money.
Yeah.
3 different bands.
Yeah.
For a
3
fiver.
live for a favour.
Winner.
3 live
Yeah.
bands
Yeah.
for a favour. That doesn't
Yeah.
even sound right.
No.
It's
And
not
the
sound-
other thing
It's
is,
not,
It
Tony.
doesn't.
It's not. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It's very cheap, but
and then the other thing that goes
Yeah.
with that is the bar at the INF is cheap as chips as well. Do you know, it's £3 a pint in there, and
Double
they do
whammy, there you
and
go.
they do drink
Club
promotions.
prices, yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
could go out with 20 quid, and you'd have a bloody good night on it. I mean, I was doing that 15 years ago, so the fact that I can still go out with the same
3
money.
years ago.
3 years ago, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's. I think it's a good thing, and I mean, one of the reasons why I went to Steve is because I know Steve from before I moved here, and I loved going to the Melting Pot. It was like one of my favourite things to do, and I felt it was such a shame that there had kind of stopped, and I understand why it had, because Steve, rightly so, it's flat out in Narrow Water Studio, and that's amazing. But I suddenly realised there was nowhere else really playing live original music, and that's what I love. I love that about the festivals and things
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, I went to Steve and went, well, I can do the promo stuff, and I can get the venue and.
I bet you Steve lit up. Oh, you
And
could do the
Yeah,
promo
well,
stuff.
she's come
Yeah.
with some great ideas and stuff. Hopefully, we'll be able to see a little bit of a mashup that is part of the promotional tool.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, we'll go to that. We'll go to that, but we'll have a chin wag first. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have a mashup video of what the Melting
Well,
Pot's about.
it's
Really.
a mashup of the lineup. So because
The
my background is film, as we know.
Yes, indeed.
Why not bring my skills to the table on that
Exactly.
as well? So we basically got the lineup because the first gig is this Saturday, and the lineup. If I could pick any 3 bands to play a gig for me, this would be it. I am literally in heaven. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about it.
Razor.
I love it when the team are like that as well. It's
Feeling
brilliant, eh?
excited in here.
I love it. So I literally am going. Oh, it's only 3 days. Only 3 more sleeps. Sad, really. I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, yes, so the mashup is a little sample of each of the bands to give everyone a taste of the sort of music they can expect on Saturday. So the 3 bands we've got playing this week, Aspen Pales are opening, Antidepressants are after that,
Brilliant,
and
yeah.
then I love them. Uncle Social, my favourite band probably in the whole world,
Wow.
are playing, headlining, and I love those boys, they're amazing.
Uncle Social.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm really excited
You
about
can
it.
get their album on iTunes, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You've heard
go
it
and
live.
go and
Yeah.
get it.
So come
Ladies
down
in
and
the
hear
Banter
them, and then download their tune. I mean, their album. For me, Uncle Social. Obviously, they recorded with you, and I was lucky enough, mainly because I made cake and tea, and they're quite like that. I was quite, and I
Always
directed one of their
works,
music videos.
Cake and tea always works. In the studio as
always
well.
gets in the back door. It was quite nice to go in and listen to them work on it. I would swear on my own life there isn't a track on that album that couldn't be a hit, and it just needs people to buy it. And I mean, that's part of what I like about the Melting Pot as well. His original bands coming in and playing their music, and then if they want to, they go and record with Steve, and I can shoot music videos for them. So it's about creating this whole kind of hub for original music, and I like that
Look,
very much.
this could turn into something big,
Yeah,
potentially,
yeah.
because you can make the music videos. Steve, sound engineer extraordinaire, so
Yeah, and a recording studio. He owns a recording studio, so he could do it all. Yeah.
recording studios, everything. So there's nothing to stop you, you know. And I wish you the best luck because
Cheers,
I was
Danny.
doing MC at the Melting Pot in Rostrevor when you guys had it.
Oh yeah, well, that
right?
was
The Battle of the Bands.
Battle of the Bands
Yeah.
competition. That was great.
Funny, you seen Big Marty, he was shouting, "They're over in the studio." Razor Marty, I met him over there. And he was telling me he was talking to you know. So, Razor for the Sasquatch. But no, that's his handle. That's his handle.
big-
He's a
it's the
good
big
lad.
man.
He's
That's
a
how
good
it is,
lad.
the big man.
He is. And to tell you, his head's in the right place with music. Is
Yeah.
you know, he does a lot of promotion.
Marty's great. He knows how hard it is to do the whole promotion side
Yeah.
of stuff and put gigs on and that. He's another trooper as well when it
Yeah,
comes to
because
that
it's
sort
not
of
easy.
thing. No, it's not at
It's
all.
not easy trying to publicise all
No.
this. And,
No, and
you
I
know,
mean
we
there
get
are
the word.
lots of different networks. I mean, I can only ever think of one. I could be wrong. One other venue in the kind of Newry, Warren Point, Rostrevor, Kill area that puts original live music on, and I think
Yeah,
that
amplified. Really.
Yeah, Amplified
is
the only
There
other one
again,
I've-
the girls are great.
The
there.
girls are
Amazing,
fantastic.
yeah,
I'm,
yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
always singing the girls' praises because
Yeah.
between Amplified and Tanglewood,
Tanglewood, exactly.
and even
Yeah.
white collar backs and whatever them girls put their heads to, it works. And fair play to you, I have
Yeah.
to say,
Good
you know,
stuff,
they really
girls.
are, and they're good for you guys as well, getting bands
yeah.
in.
I mean, because obviously
It all helps each other.
Yeah,
it really
it's
does.
that
good
working on
knock-on
a
effect. Good knock-on
yeah,
effect.
absolutely.
Yeah, and as I say, they're always willing and they're always willing to stage a night for you, aren't they? Really.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a great venue.
Yeah, it is.
I've
It's
been
very
lucky
good.
enough to play it a couple of times, and it's a great venue.
Yes,
for playing.
because not only is she a filmmaker, she's a singer as well. Yes, friends.
Jack of all trades,
Talk about
master of life.
Multitasker, extraordinary.
Yeah.
You know, but it's so the first Saturday of every month.
Yeah.
The Melting Pot kicks off.
Yeah.
Down in the INF in Warren Point. What time does it kick off at?
Doors open at 10.
At 10 at night.
10, yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that's. Do you know something? That's something different because normally the doors open at 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Nobody goes out, but
Nobody
let's
goes
be
out at
honest,
that
everybody
time.
wants to have a
No,
couple
You
of
guys
drinks at
haven't. You
home,
and Neil, right? haven't
and
you?
they want to turn up. And I mean, I've been to venues where doors open at 9 and music doesn't start till 10:30, and you like twiddle
the
your
point?
thumbs for a
There's no
while.
point.
Whereas
You start coming
open
in
the
at
doors at
10,
10 and get that music on and get it going, and that's the whole point. I mean, 3 hours coming at you hard, playing great music, which is kind of what you want on a night out.
That's what you want, isn't it? For
So
favour. So you have 3 live bands. 3 live bands for favour. That's nuts.
yeah.
That is nuts.
And I mean, like, it's good to go. I remember being, like, because obviously I'm from Bracknell and there's a town called Reading, which lots of people have heard of, and they are good for original live music. And I remember going to see Florence and the Robot, as they were called at that point, not Florence and the Machine, going, oh my God, this band's going to be massive. And that's what I kind of hope with the Melting Pot, that these bands, because they're making videos, they're recording stuff, they're getting promotion through us, and more people are coming, hopefully downloading their stuff off iTunes, that these bands become bigger. That's what they do it for. They don't do it for the life of it and for the crowd. They do it because they want to be musicians. That's what they want to do.
Yeah.
So it's not just a case of having a fiver for a good night. I think it's a fiver to support live music, original music, and that's what's really important.
And now there is a lot of local talent as well, because I've had a lot of bands on this show, on this Banter show.
Loads.
I've had loads, and it's I love having musicians, bands in, because music was part of my life for a long time, and probably still is, you know. But it's great. There is so much bands you can choose from, isn't there?
Yeah.
There are, yeah,
And
it's amazing.
I think I never speak for you when I say this, that if there are bands that we haven't heard of, get in touch with us and send us a message on Facebook and send us a link to a SoundCloud or a little audio clip or something if you've not get a gig.
Bands now, there's enough. You've all been in here. Get your SoundClouds going and get them in. And has the Melting Pot got a dedicated Facebook page and Twitter page? Or?
It's the dedicated Facebook page. So if you go to facebook.com/Melting Pot Music Club.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's even better than the Melting Pot.
Yes, isn't it?
Melting Pot Music Club. That sounds pretty good, friends. Yeah.
So it just means that people can go on there and they can message us. And we've had a few people message us about gigs and stuff like that. So that's the point.
This could be a big community you're starting out.
Well, I hope so.
Probably.
I mean, one of the reasons why I suggested the INF is he holds 200 people.
Yeah.
So, you get packed in there. It could be bunged, and what a night it would be. So.
And the INF has a long history of good bands.
Yeah.
You know, good rocky type of bluesy bands. And it's always it's just perfect for the amount of people that do go to it, you know.
Well, absolutely. I mean, during the blues, it's packed. The blues festival is packed, and then they have occasional gigs on a Sunday. Like they had the Nooks playing the other week. I don't know if you've ever seen the Nooks. They're a covers band, but they are amazing. They are amazing, and it's kind of designed. I think it is from an audience perspective. I'm not quite sure about that from a sound perspective, but it's designed for live music. It's got a dance floor. I can't wait to drop my stuff on it.
There you go. You take our video camera off her now. Then we'll come in here and get it plugged up in the Banter show.
A few GoPros on the go.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
The GoPro above me.
That's a really good idea.
Tell you what, just while we're here, will we get this mashup on then?
Yeah, why not?
Aye.
Love those bands.
Brilliant. Enjoyed watching that. We were watching it on the big screen here, friends. That was pretty good. Yeah. It's all going to happen. So there's a good vibe, a good buzz about it. And that's the first opening bands that are really going to start the Melting Pot kicking off again.
I think that's what we wanted. We wanted a really strong lineup, didn't we, to start it off again. And the slogan that we've got is keeping original music alive, and I think that's kind of what we've got at the heart of it. And yeah, it's going to be a really good night, and if you don't turn up, you're going to miss it, and you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. The rest
There you
of
go.
your life. This will be better than winning the lottery.
Better than winning the lottery. Don't do the lottery.
Well,
Go down
the
to
lottery, how
ANF.
much does the lottery cost? £2, and how much does the
£2.
Euro Millions cost? £2?
Same, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so for an extra £1, you could not do the lottery and have a winning night.
She's good at this, isn't she?
She's very good. She's got
I
her
don't have to
PR
do
head.
anything anymore. Like, I can just sit here and
It's only because I
go,
like talking.
there you go.
That's a cup of PR she's drinking there. She's just got it. Our public relations button just right through the roof. I like that. You're a good tune today, I have to say. Tell you, it's great. Only in the Banter show. So the melting pot is officially kicked off then, and that's it. Starts this Saturday.
Yeah.
And what a lineup, I have to say. And it's going to be a different lineup then every venue after it.
Absolutely. And so we've got the 4th of October, and then we've got the 1st of November, which is going to be our Halloween version. That's going to be a little bit special,
Yeah,
that one.
we've got a good
We're
one
very
for
excited
that.
about that. We're very
Look at the
excited.
smiles ahead.
Yeah.
Devilman coming out of hell along this.
We're very excited about that one. And then we're and then
Let me think.
so it'll be the first Saturday of every month, with the exception of January. We're not going to do one on the first Saturday of January because everybody's liver will be dying from Christmas and New Year. So we thought we'd give.
Oh no, you see, we're Irish. You've got that wrong, because on the 1st of January, our Irish people's liver renews itself for the next year. You know.
That's always been a mystery to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe
how
my
do they
liver
do
will
it?
Be dying.
How do they
My
do it?
liver will be dying for sure, I think.
We might go with a Boxing Day gig. Because
Yeah.
Boxing Day gigs are normally pretty good.
Yeah.
Because people are kind of
Boxing
like
night.
ready to get
Yeah.
out, and
They've been indoors for
yeah.
2 days and they're ready to get out. That's what we were saying, wasn't it?
Ready
That
to
we would,
explode.
rather
Yeah.
than do one at the first weekend in January, we'd do it on Boxing Day.
Because
And
as you know yourself, Boxing morning, there's always people go out with guns or horses or something. There's always something on, a
Yeah.
Boxing Day shoot or a
Yeah.
hunt, or
Yeah.
there's always something on. So
Yeah.
that evening, I think that evening.
What
could
day
be-
Yeah.
does Christmas Day fall on
it's
this
a
year?
Thursday, isn't it? Thursday and Friday.
Ah, very good. So
So-
that's going to work out all right then.
Yeah. We
Good.
might, so it's not technically, it's not the first Saturday of every month. So shh, don't tell anybody.
Yeah,
Don't
the
tell
melting
anybody.
pot. It's actually reworking itself as we're talking to you here. You know, the dates are flying about the place. But they're good. The good thing is, the amount of bands that have been in here are probably watching this and saying, "Wow, we'll have to get on to Diane and Jessie and Steve and see, can we get a slot?"
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? At
absolutely.
one of the melting pot gigs.
Yep, do it. Get in
Absolutely.
contact and stuff. It's about time we refreshed my band contact list and stuff, and had some new people coming in.
New faces,
again,
new sounds.
Again, I still want to continue with bands that have been on before, because there's just been some amazing
Yeah.
stuff come through the doors and going well, but they still need that support and
Yeah.
a constant feed of promotion and that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the gigs back on the road again. Again, I've still got a lot going on in the studio as well, which is fantastic. But it'd be nice to also help in the other aspect, which is going to help hopefully generate some income for the bands themselves, to be able to go and record their CDs or their albums,
Yeah.
do all their promotional stuff, merch and all that sort of thing. You know, you got to support the artist really, and that's one of the best ways, is to go out to the gig and, like, if they got their CDs with them, buy a CD.
Yeah.
That's
You
it.
know, or another thing that they're doing now is crowdfunding, which
Yeah.
is a fantastic idea. It cuts out anyone else taking a cut, goes straight to the band, and they can then delegate where that money goes to. So say they want to record an EP and they need £1,000 to do so. They obviously, I think, have to generate a little bit themselves, and then, or match funding, that's another thing as
There's
well.
lots of sites like Pledge Music. I think it's pledgemusic.com or
Yeah.
.co.uk. And a friend of
They're
mine did
great.
it for their album, their EP, and literally went, "We need X amount of money," and it's like you buy something in exchange. So, for example, you would give them a tenner and you get a signed copy of the album.
Yeah.
Or
So it's not just dead money that you're
No,
giving out.
Absolutely.
No,
No,
it goes into
you
something.
actually get you're actually pre-buying,
Yeah.
I guess, stuff. So you would get, like Di said, a limited edition signed copy of the album when it's finished and comes
Yeah.
out. Things like that, you know, or you get a T-shirt for an extra £5.
Yeah.
So you pledge 15 quid, you get an album and a T-shirt and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
But
it can
this
be anything
stuff,
that you
you
want.
know, it really
That's good.
helps, and it keeps the creative side
Well, it
flowing, you know.
what you can do then, it'll leave you guys creative in the manufacture of the CDs or DVDs
Yeah.
and T-shirts and all the rest. So you
Yeah.
guys have to
Yeah.
get creative to get this going too.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's more actually more work for you then, isn't it?
I think it's
But you like that.
It's
I
great
do
from
love
both
it.
sides of the coin. So you have the bands and the artists and stuff that the money goes straight to them,
Yeah.
and then they don't have to worry about having agents and that sort of thing to be able to, you know, find someone that's going to produce the discs and that. It is very much a do-it-yourself period that we're going through, really. And then those that are investing in them as well know exactly where their money's going to and what they're going to get straight away. So it's a
Makes
very
sense,
good.
doesn't it?
It keeps it quite open and transparent, I think, doing it that way.
Yeah.
It's actually good for bands, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a very good setup. So there you go, bands out there that don't know about this, up and coming bands. Even get to talk to Steve or Diane, Jessie here, and they could help
But
you
that's
along.
it. I mean, we both come from a different point on the music industry. I don't want to say music business because that makes it a business. It's the music industry that we can both bring something different to the table. Like the funding stuff, I've done it not for music but for film, so I know how that works and can give advice on that. I know how to get the best out of money for music videos and things like that, and I can help. If they can't afford necessarily very much, I can give them advice, and Steve's the same when it comes to producing the album and down to kind of getting the CDs done and all that kind of stuff
Even
between
the
us.
director of music videos, if
Yeah,
needed them.
things like that. So, I mean, I'm very aware that no one has much money, and especially musicians, because they don't get paid very much, bless them. So, yeah, I would give information. They ask me a question, I'll answer it. So I think that's really important. It's to not just keep original music alive within the venue, but it's to get it out there to other people.
That's it.
So,
It's just spreading the word really
Proof,
about
Yeah.
proof
music.
is in
you
the
know.
pudding, they say. Like,
What's
Yeah.
that?
proof is in the pudding.
The proof is in the
You
pudding.
know, I can do all sorts of stuff to make a band sound a particular way in the studio and produce them in a certain way and give them a particular sound. But really, you know, the proof is when they're out doing it live as
Yeah.
to the
That's
sort
it.
of
But
band that they are, you know.
They're out of the comfort zone of the
That's
studio.
exactly.
And
if
now,
they
not
do,
only that, sorry to break your word, not
Yeah.
only that, but you're out of your comfort zone of the studio. So when you're out live,
yeah,
and that has to sound good in whatever venue you're singing, you know, when you step away back
that's
from
right.
because you know, I mean, he would hear different sounds that we would never ever hear.
yeah.
And
Oh,
it's the same
God,
with
yeah.
Tom.
I'm like,
It's
what?
the same with Tom Begley. It's the same with Tom Newman.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys
things,
hear
I'm like,
sounds
what?
that we would never
Yeah.
hear
Yeah.
because they're in the studio
And you're
so
trained
much.
for it.
You know, and you can, you know, I even got through music. I've been in studios and all, and it's great to watch the proper good sound engineers because they can hear little tingles and, you know, chirps or something. And even the band is after playing it. Once you play it back, you can't hear it, but you guys can hear it.
Yeah, you kind of get tuned into certain things like that, I guess. Your ears become trained to hear certain things. I don't know. It's very hard to pinpoint anything and explain it, but it does. It happens. It's weird. Like it's a strange phenomena that
And
happens. but,
have a
yeah.
load of these bands that are going to play at the Melting Pot gigs. Have they been through your studio?
We've got two. We've got,
Actually, all three of them that
Yeah.
are playing at the weekend have.
There
Yeah.
you go.
we've actually
Yeah,
got
yeah.
two. We've got a music video for the antidepressants and Uncle Social, which Steve recorded at the studio and I directed. So you can play either one of those and just give everyone an example of the sort of the bands and what we can do as well. So
Yeah.
if you wanted to do that,
And Uncle Social and antidepressants and all, they're on Facebook and that,
yeah,
aren't
all the
they?
bands are. All the bands are.
So
yeah.
the information should be in the Melting Pot site
Oh
anyway,
yeah,
shouldn't it?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
The guys were in antidepressants. Were actually in on Monday. We just finished another track called "Shove It."
Shove It.
Ah, I'll tell you what, it's just
It's
the
brilliant.
catchiest,
Get
most
stuck in
fun
your head,
song.
get stuck in
It's
your
going
head.
to start a new wave of road rage, I'm
Is
sure.
that right?
But yeah, it's brilliant. All in good taste.
Yeah, well, good
and everything.
taste,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But it's fantastic. It's them guys are just, they're so much fun to work with, and I love their sound that they get. They're
a buzz, aren't
great.
they?
They are a real buzz. You know,
Yeah.
if you're going to go out
Big razor for the antidepressants.
and you want a good laugh at a gig, you know, you got to go.
Because I had good fun with them. Tom Newman brought them in here. And
Yes.
Good fun with them, you know.
The
They
two
are great.
Karen and Susie as well.
Karen and Susie didn't come in. They couldn't make the show. And
They're
some of
brilliant.
these
amazing.
things
They're
we'll
also
get-
in a band
yeah.
called Twisted Sister, and they're brilliant too. They're
Yeah.
I mean, the
So-
girls put their all into their song.
I mean,
and
one of
they're
the girls
performing.
at the Tanglewood, not this year, the year before, Susie, she snapped her Achilles tendon or something. She was on stage and she carried on going.
Oh,
And then she was out for like 12 weeks or something. But what a trooper, man! What a trooper!
Yeah, because you see, they came down the studio. That's how I actually met them last year at Tanglewood, and Tom got friendly and close with them, and they ended up in the studio. Susie had snapped her. I think it was her Achilles tendon. I think. So they're dancing around there. She's got this big
Boot.
like
A big
boot
boot,
on
big
her
plastic
on her
boot.
legs and stuff. But they were so lovely, so lovely.
because I've met the girls years ago. I've met them all over the place.
Yeah.
They used to go to the Vibe in Dublin, the big Thin Lizzy gig on the 4th of January every year.
Yes.
You know, so they
Yes.
go to. That's where I used to meet them regular. And then I've met them in Armagh. I've met them all over the place when I was tour managing. You know, so
Yeah.
they're great fun. I have to say.
They deserve a break. They do, because they're great.
They've a great buzz, haven't they?
They
You
do,
know,
yeah.
And as I say, they put their heart and soul into it.
Yeah.
And that's the difference, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So going back to again the lineup, Aspen Pales. We've just finished. I don't know whether to call it an EP or an LP. So it's 8 tracks. So it's a bit longer than an EP. So I suppose it's an LP really.
An ELP.
An
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 ELP.
extended long.
Extended long play, yeah.
So it's an
That would be a
ELP.
double album, wouldn't it? An EEP, an extended.
Now, Steve, I've just
yeah.
handed you something there on the plate. You can just start doing ELPs.
Yeah, extra.
It's the
linear
only man in
perceptions.
the world that can do ELPs.
ELPs. There
There you go.
So we've literally yesterday Collie was in and we just put that to bed. So that's finished. It's a way to get mastered now. They might have a free copy or two to give away on Saturday. Fingers crossed if the mastering's done by then.
There
so
you go.
I think it will go to the best dancer.
On the night.
On the night.
Me? I'm joking. I won't take it. I won't take it.
Look, just give it to the Aaron Jessie. Just give it to her.
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
That's been a really long process with them, the fellas, because they're all spread out all over the place. But we're really, really happy with how the record's turned out. It's really exciting, actually. They got their own unique sound. Connor, the front man, such an unusual singing voice and style, but it's beautiful. It's lovely.
It is beautiful.
Crossed with a contrast that the music sits with it. You just have to listen to it.
Just caught your
Yeah,
Steve,
yeah,
didn't it?
yeah.
It
It's
was
caught,
something
caught
different.
our imagination. Really
Now,
great.
That's Diane, Jessie, this is where I'm going back to. When this man hears new sounds, that's what you've heard, isn't it? You've heard a new
Yeah.
voice that you haven't heard before. That's
Exactly.
The difference.
Yeah.
That's it. They're
yeah.
definitely a band that once you've heard them, you'd recognise them anywhere.
Instantly. Yeah.
And they are so different and beautiful. I saw them, must have been last year, at Fiddlers. It was last year at Fiddlers. And just,
It's quite haunting, isn't it?
yeah, one of those bands where you kind of just
go,
are so drawn into them that you suddenly, it's like you and just the band are in the room. So that which
That's a
is,
strange feeling, isn't it? I know that feeling.
yeah,
and it
it's
is.
an amazing
Yeah.
thing.
You do. You just
Get
get
drawn
immersed
in.
right into it, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You get zoned in, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
It's a strange feeling that. I think so. There's not too many. I've felt that I know exactly what you're talking about, and I know he has.
Yeah.
But it's very good, isn't it? So I'm going to enjoy kind of getting to.
Yeah, it's
getting
quite
to this now. Good buzz.
It's a diverse lineup for Saturday. I mean, they're all so different. The bands that
Well, that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
Like, we've thought about, doing a rock night or a reggae night or a ska night, whatever. But I like to actually mix it up a bit and try and
Yeah.
keep it you know,
theme
keep
free, so to speak.
Yeah,
Because
Because
not
if you-
everyone likes
'cause
rock
you're-
music, not
you're
everybody
not
likes
with the
reggae
same
music.
crowd all the
Yeah.
time.
Because I mean, if you're going to have a
For each
reggae
thing.
night, that's it. It's a reggae night, or it's a
Yeah.
rock night. That's it. It's a rock
Yeah.
night.
I like a bit
You
of
know,
variety and
bit of variety.
To mix it up a little bit.
A little bit
and-
like people will tell who may not have heard the bands before and go, oh, I don't know what I'm going to get tonight. It's gonna be
Yeah,
rock,
I,
is it
I
gonna be
love
Yeah.
doing that. I
Yeah.
love going to gigs myself.
And not
Maybe I'll
knowing.
know one band who's on the lineup, and they'll be the band I'm going to see, and I'll see the other support acts. And it's like, oh, I don't actually know any of them, and I love the surprise.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I'm actually pleasantly surprised and think, yeah, this is really good. It's very, very rare that you go to a gig and you're not thinking that all the bands are actually absolutely brilliant. So
Yeah.
yeah.
How long have you been working in studios then, Steve?
Let me see. Since in actual studios, so when I started with Tom, which was 9 or 10 years ago, probably about 9 or 10 years ago. My studio I've had open for about 4 years, 4.5 years now. But I've been doing music a long time. I started out as a youngster, getting really into music when I discovered that one of my favourite songs, they'd actually sampled another record. And so I was like, oh, well, how come? So I ended up going and looking for the record, and it was an old 1970s funk break. And I was like, hold on a minute, how often does this happen? And then to my surprise, you find out that so many records have been sampled, you know, from earlier periods.
Yeah.
They just use little snippets and do loops and stuff. So at the time, really, I really got into hip hop. So I was probably about 12 or 13 years old, and they used to do, looping on the decks. So they get two of the same record, take a section, play it, and then cue the other one up. And so you keep looping. So that's where you get your sampling from. Throwing a bit of scratching and everything to keep it a bit interesting.
Yeah.
And then they would spit their lyrics over the top. So that's kind of when I really started to get interested was when I started secondary school. And it kind of went on from there. I started mucking around on the drums during break times, and I was like, oh, this is great. But I was left-handed, so always really the wrong way around for doing that. And then started buying records. And it just snowed and started DJing parties when I was sort of 15
Wow.
years old. And it just kept snowballing. Then I started writing, messing around on what was then the Amiga, Commodore Amiga. I had 1 megabyte of memory, which was like amazing.
Yeah.
So I was able to do samples, and had a little program called Pro Tracker, which was 4 channels, and you could use your little samples, cut them all up and edit them and stuff. So that was the start for me for tracking, and really the starts of making music.
Wow.
So then it just carried on going and going. But I've been learning my trade for a long time now.
Wow, and with a good man too, Tom Newman.
I met Tom when I was early 20s, probably. So what am I now? I'm 36 now. I probably met Tom when I was about 23, 24, and then ended up going and living with Tom on the ship down in Southampton.
That's an amazing story.
I'm
too.
there
That's-
for a couple of years.
You've lived on a ship, on a music studio
Yeah.
built into a ship.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, well, it was all for a charity called Pirates for Peace, and we really wanted to have a cross-community radio station on there for the younger ones, but that side of it sadly didn't take off. Although there was a recording studio on there, and we'd done sessions on the boat in Southampton and stuff, we was never able to get enough funding, because a project like that was going to take a lot of money to get off the floor and maintain. Make it work. And unfortunately that fell through, and that really opened the door for me to build my own studio, which was about probably 5 or 6 years ago now.
But you sailed the boat over there.
Yeah,
over here to Carlingford.
from Southampton
from
to Carlingford,
Southampton,
yeah.
from Southampton in England
In February.
to Carlingford in Ireland. They sailed the boat over to Ireland, and they stayed on it. You lived on it for a while, didn't you?
I was on there for about 2 years in Southampton. Unfortunately, I wasn't on the boat when it sailed across. I was having to work at that time because I was volunteering.
Yeah.
I'd have to do stints on the ship and then go and work for a few weeks solid to have enough money to maintain me being a volunteer there. So I was just doing building work and working on site and stuff. And I got a call one Sunday night. It's Steve, it's Tom here. We're going tomorrow morning. I was like, what? You're not serious? He's like, yeah, we're going tomorrow. We've got a 5-day window. And this was in the beginning of February, one of probably the worst times to sail across the channel.
Across the
yeah,
RC.
he goes, we've got a 5-day window. Weather's looking good. The captain's ready to go. I was like, Tom, I can't. I've got to work. So what we done, I just went down to Southampton on the Sunday night, said, see you later, hopefully see you in a week or in a few weeks' time. And then Tom sailed across with I guess a skeleton crew of half a dozen folk on there. And they managed to get across in the 5 days. But on the well, it was great up until the Thursday and the weather started turning. So by that time they're probably halfway up the east coast of Ireland, and on the Friday the wind really got up. So Tom is going into Kill Harbour, and he's going flat out, probably about 13-14 knots in a 107-foot wooden minesweeper, and the wind's blowing him to the shore. So he had to maintain his speed. And you know what Kill Harbour's like. It's quite a narrow...
It's a narrow entrance.
A narrow entrance, but then it doglegs to the right very quickly. So I think, I don't know if someone was looking over him or he had his someone on his back there, but he managed flat out to get into the hole, brakes on, into reverse, round the corner, into the harbour. He didn't touch the sides. So that's
something.
That's unbelievable, and the wind pushing him towards the shore as well. So
how he didn't get slammed.
I know. So it was meant to be, Tony. It was
on
meant
a big
to be.
100-foot something boat, and literally coming in dogleg and doing a handbrake turn.
Yeah, it was.
That's mad.
You didn't have any side winding engines or anything like that. It was just straight propeller out the back.
There's only Tom Newman could do that.
Do you know it was called the Enterprise as well? The SS Enterprise.
Unbelievable. Beam us up, Tom. Beam us up. That is unbelievable, boy. He's a great man, isn't he?
Isn't he?
He's something else.
Yeah, I love his sense of adventure and his willingness to push the envelope and stuff.
Push boundaries.
Yeah, totally.
He's what I would call a changeling.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
He affects people's lives without them sometimes realising in such good, strong ways. I mean, I wouldn't be here without him. I wouldn't be living here without him.
There you go.
Likewise, yeah.
Likewise.
So yeah.
You have a lot to answer for, Tom.
Yeah.
A lot to answer for.
Yeah.
So if anyone's got any issues, blame Tom.
It's all good, but it's all good. And he was the sound engineer on the legendary Tubular Bells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check that out, friends.
He
The music
produced
Tubular Bells.
He produced
Mike
that
Oldfields, he
with
produced
Mike.
it.
Yeah.
He's an incredible... And he's out in Rio now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been there for nearly 3 months.
Yeah.
Is it 3 months?
He went at the end of June, so is it 3 months or 2 months?
It's 2 months. He's been there at least 2 months.
Yeah.
Isn't it well for him? It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely, mate. Hopefully he's found love.
I think he has found love, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So
Much love to Mr.
Good, you
Tom.
can keep him.
Hi, Lana.
We've just sold Narrowwater Studios when you're away.
So he's due back now.
Yeah.
So
He'll turn up.
imminently.
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
There could be another boat coming into Kilkeel Harbour.
Yes.
From
I
Rio.
wouldn't actually hold my breath on that one. Do you know what I mean? He could actually do it. Parasending, anything.
Cursing.
I'm here. Yeah, every expletive you could possibly imagine.
It's great to give you a rip out live in the Banter show, Tom.
Yeah, we'll get him when he comes back. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, he's a brilliant.
He
man.
disses me for my disco music all the time.
Does he?
Yeah,
He likes
yeah.
to rip you out.
Do you know, the last couple of times that I've been into his little wee studio at his place, I've caught him messing around with disco beats and stuff, you know, so... Yeah, he's a changed man by the sounds of it.
He's now in his 70s, he's into disco music.
No, do you know, actually, the style that's I think really caught his imagination of like his dubstep. I think he's really got into that whole I don't know, it's quite a crazy little sound, that dubstep thing.
Yeah.
The
It is, yeah.
half tempo, but it's got great mood to it and
Yeah.
stuff, and he finds that quite interesting. And
Although I
yeah.
have to say, a big shout out to Trevor F. Charlton over in London. He's a record producer, good friend of mine, and I was on the phone to him the other night,
Yeah.
and he was listening to disco music.
Yeah.
He said to me, disco music's on the way back.
Is it really?
Yep.
There
There
you
you
go, Tom,
go.
I'm one step ahead of you, mate.
There you go. And Trevor was in Trick Records, and the records individuals consciously keep Trick.
Nice.
very good.
There you
Nice.
go. Big shout out, Trevor.
I nearly called my studio Crap Studios, creative recording and production, but you know, I don't think it was going to work properly.
I love that. I love that.
Great wordage, but when you shorten it down to small
Yeah,
letters,
yeah,
that's
like,
like,
you know, some of them are
it's like trotters,
You've
independent
got to be
traders.
really careful with things like that. Like, if I shorten down my company name, Boarding Frog Films, it's BFF, which also stands for Best Friends Forever, which is quite lame. So think of that at the time.
you got to be careful about
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah,
So I just stuck with Narrow Water Studio purely because the location is better known and
beautiful down there, isn't it?
yeah.
It's a great place to record. I mean, like me and Split Lips went in and recorded our EP there, and because you're in the studio, you could be anywhere in the world when you're in the studio, and you step out because you need to step outside, and you've got the beautiful surroundings of the mountains and the fields and things like that. And I think that being in nature feeds into your creativity anyway. So being that close to all that woods and that green is good for you. So
Yeah.
that's why I think it's a great place to go and record.
Yeah.
Go
You're
and
getting
record
the
there.
fresh air and all, blowing
Yeah.
through the trees and it's filtered and all that. How do you carry on? But
Yeah, if the drummer's misbehaving, you can stick him in with the horses next door, you know.
Or the donkey.
the donkey will sort them out. That's for sure. He always sorts them out.
God, did you two rehearse
brutal.
that? I swear.
If
there
I'd
you are.
known about that, I wouldn't let that out.
Okay,
No,
good,
yeah.
good.
That's going to be in one of your records, isn't it? Just at the end of speaking. No, he hasn't already. Well, I have to say it's been a blast. It's been an absolute blast to see you back in the studio and to hear that the melting pot's starting up again.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
nice. It's nice.
And it's all good bands, all original sounds, and a good
Oh.
man on the desk.
Just one other gig to plug if we
Yeah,
can,
go
really.
Oh,
on
yes.
ahead.
The following week, we're doing a benefit gig for Medical Aid Palestine, and that'll be at the Foresters again. So it's a £5 donation or more on the door. Hopefully, we're going to have raffle prizes and stuff. We've got 2 confirmed acts so far. So our headline act would be NI Soul Troop, which are fantastic.
Wow.
10,
not waiting.
12-piece soul band
They're
from
amazing.
Belfast. Well, they're actually
Brilliant.
from all over the north, really. They're fantastic. Alison McGrath as well. She's going to be
Oh,
playing.
Alison. Razor, Alison and Dermot. McQuaid.
Alison, Dermy,
Yeah,
brilliant.
brilliant. Great band all together.
Amazing.
Carl Hughes and drums, and
Yes.
geez, they're fantastic.
So we got them 2 definitely confirmed. I won't say as to who we got on the other slot yet, and we'll have someone down from Medical Aid Palestine having a wee chat as well about where the money goes and that sort of thing and stuff. So yeah, we'd just like to plug that. So next Saturday, which is Saturday the 13th of September, we'll be at the Foresters in Warrenpoint again. So come down.
What
and-
time is it kicking off, Steve?
I got a feeling it states that it's 9:30, but I think the music probably be about 10 o'clock.
Yeah. That
So-
makes sense. It's
Yeah.
always in around 10, half 10 when
Yeah.
Yeah.
the bands kick off, isn't
Yeah.
it? And it's the unspoken rule of Warrenpoint, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not.
10 o'clock's a good time, man.
10 o'clock's good.
Yeah.
So I think that's the time.
So
But
it's
if
Saturday
you're,
the 13th.
yeah,
So it's the next 2 Saturdays in a row at the INF One Point. You've just got for a £5.
There's loads
You've
of
got
gigs
so much
this
going
next
on.
2
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah.
And it's all just at the A&F in Warrenpoint. And these rock stars here are going to sort it all out for you. So check that out. For a favour. That's for nothing. It is for nothing.
yeah,
2
Yeah.
bands for a favour.
yeah.
That's crazy. It's brilliant.
And the other thing to say with the Mountain Pot is all the money on the door goes to the bands.
Yeah, so door
Yeah.
split.
Door split.
So that's one of the things that we try and is keep it fair So the promoter's not going to run off with 50% of the door and the artists suffer for that. It's basically a door split between everyone that's involved in organising the gig.
Well, fair play to you, because that's a very valid thing you're doing. You know what it's like. We've all seen it. We've all seen bands getting stiffed over the years.
Oh, God, yeah.
And that's a very good. That's even better. So the band, it's all split.
So it kind of in a way you share. We all share the responsibility of promoting it ourselves and turning up and doing the gig ourselves and stuff. So we might as well split evenly. I think it's probably the fairest way of doing things, to be honest.
Well, that leaves it that everybody gets a slate torn out.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not.
And if you don't invite anyone, then it's your own fault for not.
Yeah, that is one of the things I think with bands.
For not helping out with it, or
If bands are going to perform there, they have to take on part of the. I mean, I can make that mash up in the posters, which is part of my job, and promote it on Facebook. Yeah. But the bands have to do a fair amount of promoting themselves and things like that. So
simply just sharing the event and inviting their friends. It's as simple as it is, really.
It's not a hard job to do.
No,
you can do it on Facebook. You can do it on Twitter.
Half an hour,
can't you? I mean, you can share a lot of stuff on Twitter or Facebook in a half an hour, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you make sure I'll get onto the Melting Pot page. I'll like it, and then I'll start sharing things. And
amazing. Yeah, it's a Melting Pot Music Club.
The Melting Pot Music Club.
Is it that or just?
No. Sorry, it's me. Melting Pot Music Club. Oh.
Melting Pot Music Club. There's a nice ring to that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Melting Pot Music Club. And it will be a club because it's going to kick off. You know that. So there's the first 2 Saturdays, and then it'll be the following month. It'll be every month, the first Saturday of every month then. That makes sense.
We'll probably do like what we've done for the Medical Aid Palestine gig. If there are groups out there that would like to, do charity events and stuff, then give us a shout, and we try and get something organised. So
yeah, absolutely.
And indeed, any bands that were previously on the Banter show, get on to the Melting Pot Music Group, because you're a lot of talent out there. Get on. Let's get something big going.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. And just to tell you again what the lineup is for Saturday, it's Aspen Pale's opening, followed by the Antidepressants, and then headlining the awesome, the incredible, my favourite band in the whole wide world, Uncle Social.
There you go, friends. We're after getting the time out. You've heard it from Diane, Jessie Miller, and Steve Fearnley over in the corner. So get yourselves down to the Melting Pot, the Melting Pot Music Club, the Foresters Warren Point, Saturday at 9 o'clock. Well,
10 o'clock.
9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
10 o'clock,
10 o'clock. Yeah. Just wheel in, have a crack. You can come down earlier if you want. The club is open anyway. Go in and have a beer if there's nothing on.
The club upstairs will be open. Yeah.
So, and listen, I wish you the best of luck with the Melting Pot. I know it's going to work. It's going to be big.
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. And it's great, friends. So there you go. The Banter show's closing down at the weekend, and we're moving on to new things. But I have to say, I wish you guys the best of luck with the Melting Pot. I know it's going to be a big hit because you put your heart and soul into it. And anytime you two guys do that, it works. So big time, they're hard grafters. So I'll tell you what, from myself, Diane, Jessie Miller, and Steve Fearnley, give us an old razor. Friends, we're out of here. Razor.
Station Banter.